Good night. Good night, St. Martin. Welcome to your favorite internet online radio program, www.sxmtalk.com. And of course, I'm your host, Christopher Emmanuel, and I must say, I'm pleased and happy to be here tonight. I got a good bedroom of mine in the studio. You know, he was doing a little thing here because, yeah, there's a lot of things that goes on here. But many of you guys know me because I did a program with him already. But now that we have the camera and we have everything up and running, I definitely going to bring him on so we could discuss some things. Because I believe the last program we had was the Rasta man in the society. And I think he's one of those gentlemen who can speak on behalf of that when it comes to the youth, when it comes to what's going on and stuff like that. So we're going to be having him on. Also, he was featured in the short film that got great reviews here in St. Martin, Baby Needs Milk. Yeah, I know you guys heard a lot about it. Go on YouTube, type it in, check it out, and you're going to see the cast members in it. But I have him here in the studio now, but I ain't bringing him on tonight. But I promise you guys, I'm going to have him here. Maybe the older folks know him as Lindy, but we, the young fellows, and them who grew up with him, know him as Scoodle. You know that short fella up and down on the motorbike all the time? Yep, that's the dude, that's the guy. We're going to have him back here in the studio. We're going to be talking a bit about Baby Needs Milk. But tonight I want to welcome each and every one of you guys for tuning in and logging on to the program. I'm happy for the reviews that we got. And let me say this. As much as I'm eager, I'm tempted to turn my cannon to that 5 square mile island. I ain't doing it tonight. I'm done. I'm finished. Because, well, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that discussion as we go along in the program. This is the reason why I posted the topic, the headline, Eye on the New Government Part 2, because we had a Part 1. Part 2. Because things starting to shape up. Things starting to line up a bit. You see? But it's the objective of us, as St. Martin people, to keep a focus, to keep our eyes on this new government. We have to let them know that it's not business as usual. I was told a while ago that some people are happy. They're all the way down in Colombia. They went through a surgery feeling nice, and they just jolly because there's a new government or a new coalition government. Well, this is what happens when your people are in, and I could imagine how those feel when their guys are out. But let me welcome you guys. Good night to each and every one of you. Ananda, how you doing? My guy, Roots, and I'm a culture. What's happening, brother? Jennifer David, good night to you. Nando, good night. Apple, good night. Everyone out there, good night to everyone. Everyone. Good night to you and welcome to the Friday edition of SXM Talk. I want to get right into the discussion. But before I go there, you know, I want to talk candidly to my people because I wouldn't call it a heated debate, nor would I call it a hated debate. I would just say it was a difference of opinion, an exchange of words between me and my friend that I was talking about. But I've come to the conclusion, right, that the proverbial saying of sour grapes applied in this situation. And I've been called all sorts of names from this individual. I'm preaching hatred. I'm bad for St. Martin. I'm on a popularity system, flare up, whatever you want to call it. I'm looking for popularity. It's a bad thing for St. Martin. I'm causing division and all kind of stuff. You know what this thing is, though? Whenever the people in a country have an advocate, have someone who stands up for them, whenever people have someone who can digest, okay, and read in between the lines, statements made, right, by individuals, they don't like it. You see what it is that it come across that only a certain group of people should be able to do things in St. Martin, should be able to say things in St. Martin, should be able to own things in St. Martin, should be able to create things in St. Martin. Only a certain group. Only a certain group. Nobody else could do it. And if individuals of that group, of that clique, I just call them the cartel. If individuals of that cartel is not involved in any one of those things, then it's not good. Because it must only be for a selected few. It must only be for a certain family. It must only be for a certain group. And I am saying that here on St. Martin, we should speak out against that kind of tyranny. You see? But they have their agents, and they don't like it. They don't like it because they must be the only ones who can say what they want to say about you, or say what they must say about the country, and we must swallow it because it comes from them. So because they say it, it's gospel, and we must accept that. Anybody else say it, it's no good. All right? It ain't good. We don't want to hear from them. Well, let me say this, right? Christopher Emmanuel going to continue to defend St. Martin people, to speak out against things that is wrong for this community. All right? And I'm going to always say it. I'm going to always say it to each and every one that's in this country. Because St. Martin have been generous to everyone. I'm going to say it. Whether you come from the Dominican Republic, you come from Haiti, you come from Guadeloupe, you come from Antigua, Sabre, Statia, Jamaica, Guyana, Trinidad. It doesn't matter where, where you come from. If you don't like something in your country, you shouldn't like it or want it to happen in this country. Now, I want to move on. And I must say that I see that the outgoing Deputy Prime Minister has sort of simmered down here a little bit. His tone has changed. I would assume that he has become accustomed of the reality that you're going into opposition or you're out of government. So it is good that you accept that. All right? But I want to read just a little piece of the article. I'm not going to read the whole article. Where he said, Theo, new government should hit the ground running. And I agree. I agree with what the outgoing minister is saying. Even though I listened to the other minister, Franklin Myers, on the Sandbox Street, under the Sandbox Street program, on the French side where he call in and talk about the new government just want to enrich in themselves and just this and just that and yada, 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 yada. Okay, I guess he still hasn't accepted the faith, even though no one has voted for him. You know? So I guess he haven't accepted that as yet. But I want to read a little piece, and this is what he said. The new National Alliance, NA-led coalition government should hit the ground running as the outgoing United People's Party, Democratic Party coalition has laid the foundation for several projects and initiates said outgoing Deputy Prime Minister T. Heiliger on Wednesday. Heiliger said that while some might give the new government a chance, in the case, the new government that includes former coalition partners DP, an independent member of Parliament Patrick Illage, and former UP MP Romain Laville, is filled with well-hardened veterans in terms of politics. I expect to see a lot from the new government, and I think the population deserve to see a lot. He said, adding that it was not a learning process for any of the incoming ministers or MPs who supported the new coalition. And you see, St. Martin, this is what I was talking about when I mentioned the double standards. And this is one of the reasons why I would always keep calling my friend a hypocrite. You see? Because what you don't want or like for yourself, you shouldn't want it for others. But because, and that's why I say I agree with the ministers. All right? They shouldn't have no time because it's hard on veterans. It's veterans. All right? I give that to you. All right? I give it to you. However, However, when you and the Minister of Finance find it fit to plague this country in a financial situation and financial burden, you still expect them to hit the ground running. You still expect them to get things done because everything for you is project, 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 project. Well, I remember when the National Alliance or the SPA back and then was building roads, the famous thing was you can't eat road, and St. Martin people definitely can't eat projects. Can't eat projects. But when you look to burden the country with debt, okay, with debt, because $100 million for American Eagle going bankrupt the country, but $150 million bond from the central bank to build a causeway ain't going to bankrupt the country. $17 million for cost of living adjustment ain't going to bankrupt the country. $14 million for a new tax system ain't going to bankrupt the country. I'm saying to myself, who really does these people think they are? Because they look at us and realize that we can't sniff through. We can't understand. We won't comprehend. We can't analyze. And for me, a lot of these projects are questionable. Questionable in terms of their sustainability. Because every time a project is done here and a little shower of rain come, we see the condition of those projects after. All right? But a new government must hit the ground running. They must get this done and get that, and everything must be done quickly and fast in 2 years. But in 19 months, the people of St. Martin is still waiting to see something beneficial, tangible for them. And you know, and these are the things that I simply can't get understand. I can't get to understand. So I guess it doesn't apply in this case. What's good for the goose isn't good for the gander. Huh? Yes, they may be veterans. Yes, they may have their eye on the ball. Yes, they may know how to get things. But you are telling me, right, that you have laid the foundation so they should just pick up the ball and get things running. Well, let me say this. St. Martin people, yes, you should keep your eye on this new government. And when Christopher say, keep your eye on this new government, I am talking about the things that's affecting you. Because, I said it before, I'm going to say it again. Cooking gas and gas price gone up on St. Martin. When the Economic Affairs Department give a negative response, a negative advice to the minister at the time saying, it is not appropriate. So what are we looking for? We are looking to see changes in that area, in that arena. We are looking to see changes there. Okay? We are looking to see changes in terms of food prices. We are looking to see changes in terms of the pension funds and the understand for people who have been taken off of the list. We are looking to see changes in terms of equal opportunity for everyone, and not just a selected few being placed on every board on St. Martin. We are looking for changes that everyone can get an equal chance to pursue their dreams and their goals. That's what we are looking for. We are not looking to see that because you're on a list and because everybody on the list must get a job and they're the only one placed here and there. We don't want to be like that. Whether you qualify or not, we just placing you here and placing you there. No one get the chance to send in their CV or apply for a certain position. It was just given to this individual. You know, those are the kind of things that are wrong. And those are the things where we are looking to see changes. All right? But, like I say, when I read a whole article, I realize he toned down a bit. Enough of his rhetoric is still inside. And I listened to Eldrick Van Putten today when he called in on Lloyd Richardson's program, and he was absolutely correct. absolutely correct. The causeway is coming because of a campaign promise. And he's correct when he said 16 or 17 years ago, you made campaign promises towards Mullet Bay. You made those promises. And look today. Look today. Huh? And this is the reason why I'm saying to St. Martin people, we ought to keep our eye on this government. Because we have to send a clear message, a resounding message, that it should not be business as usual. It just cannot be business as usual, a continuation. Yes, government is a continuation, but we want to see different things. We want to see changes. I mean, one of my biggest things that I would like to see changed, and I don't know how it's going to be done, I don't know how it works, and it seems to be a secret here, but who controls gasoline on this island? When we talk about holding tanks and fuel tanks and Sol and Texaco and the blue tank and the blue bottles and the gray bottles and who own this gas station, I mean, that is a whole complexity in itself. But I know that's one of the major things. Cooking gas, gas for your vehicle. Who has their hands in that jar? Who makes the money from that? Who are the individuals? How is it being done? Why we only have one supplier? Why we can't change to Venezuela? Why we can't seek alternative, cheaper places? Those are the kind of questions I would like the media to ask. Those are the kind of questions that I personally want answers for. Because I think St. Martin people have paid their fair share to live on this island, and it's hyperinflated, it's expensive. And I think St. Martin people are paying much more for what they are getting. And in my book, something is wrong with that. We need to spread it out. It's time for the wealth in this country to be spread out, not just a selected few. It cannot be so anymore. It should not be so anymore. This is the reason why I say let us keep our eye on this new government. Okay? We want to see changes in a lot of the boards. Changes at the harbor. Changes at Telem. Changes at GEBE. We want to see changes, but changes with substance. Changes that's going to change, or is going to affect positively the pockets of the St. Martin people. We want to see difference in our prices. Okay? I think we ought to know who is making what and who's not making from these government-owned companies. This island, the island needs a shake-up. And I'm calling on the ombudsman because I'm still not seeing much coming out from the office of the ombudsman. You know, I don't think people really understand your function. And I stand to be corrected on this, but I believe it's a million guilders budget yearly. And what are we getting? What are we getting from the ombudsman office? What's in it for us? Are you up and running? Is things functioning at the ombudsman? Because I believe a lot of people have reasons now to want to use the ombudsman's office advice on things that is going on in St. Martin. Okay? Now, if they couldn't fulfill their promises because school fees still have to be paid, the free internet, nothing. And those was promises that was made. You see? But there's no return. There's no return for the politician with those promises. There's nothing to get back. There's no spin-off. There's no kickback from it. All right? But we could imagine the kickbacks from the causeway. And listen, I'm saying this to the new incoming government. I think it is time that politicians be truthful, honest, and level with St. Martin people. Tell them the truth. It may not be what they want to hear, but tell it to them as it is. And if we cannot stop the Ring Road project because of contractual agreements that have already been made, tell it to the people. Explain them why. Let them know why. Don't just allow it to go on and shove it down our throat, because that is what they was doing. We want answers. We need answers. We deserve answers. That's why, people, it is our obligation to keep our eye on them. Keep our eye. We can't leave them have this free running reign like the last government that was there. We can't allow it to happen. We should not allow it to happen. Yes, people would say, okay, yeah, but you're not being fair because now you're coming down hard. But they are my boys. So if I'm coming down hard on my own, then I think everybody else have a right to come down hard on their government. Question their government. You see? These are the things that we should do. At the end of the day, we are the ones responsible. We are the ones know what is going on with us. We know when we are hurting. We know. We know when we can't afford certain things. You can't afford cooking gas. 15th and 16th of the month, your money is finished. 70% of it went into bills, went into food. You can't save, can't get a loan. You're simply not growing. Those are the aspects and the places where we want to see changes. Not in a project. Not in a project. People have a right. People have a right to succeed in their country and move forward. Because look, listen, let me say this, right? Look at the Chamber of Commerce and look at the individuals there. Look at the so-called New Tourism Authority Board. Look at the individuals there. You know, recycling individuals, and it's always someone connected to the same clique, the same group. There's no transparency. That's not fairness. That's not equality. So I can imagine now some of their agents who's listening got their face frowning and saying, yeah, but then why? You don't put yourself forward if you want and this and then that. That's not the point. That's not the point. The point is that it's clear. It's the friends, the cronies, and the families who gets the opportunity to be in these positions. Okay? To be in these positions. I could call some names from down at the airport. All of a sudden, a certain particular individual, young man, full of all kind of projects. Full of all kind of projects. To get done here and get done there. And then you question yourself, but is the individual qualified? You know? But we know what's best for ourselves. Don't let no one shove things down your throat, shove things in your mouth, and then you have to just swallow it and accept it because it comes from them. Not even from this new government. Not even from them. Not even from them. And I'm saying this to the bus drivers. I'm saying this to the taxi drivers. I'm saying this to the nurses, GEBE workers, telem workers. All right? Things in this country have to change. And they have to change fast. Because St. Martin people are suffering. They are hurting. They are hurting. Economic Affairs Department need to get their act together in terms of their inspectors and start checking these grocery stores and prices. That price list needs to be reviewed. Why can't we just simply be professionals and do a job? And do a job according to the rules and regulations as to how it ought to be done? Why? Anyone who's taking a bribe, anyone who's being paid off, should be sanctioned and penalized to the deepest extent of the law. You can't walk in a grocery store on Monday and you see the price of Pampers cost 16 guilders for the number 6 with 24 in it. And then when you go in on Thursday, it's 18 guilders and 21 cents. And then when you question it, you ask, but how is it the price gone up by 2 guilders and change? Oh, my boss said the price was too low. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. But I had a discussion today with my aunt and a few other individuals. And I remember when the discussion for it was going on here in St. Martin, we had certain individuals kick up against it. But St. Martin, we need a Walmart. We need a Walmart in this country. Because we don't have import duties, import taxes. We don't have it. But yet we are paying much more for merchandise, much more for electronics, okay, not really electronics, but food in comparison to many other countries. Much more. Because we have just a certain group of people controlling that industry. We have a certain group controlling the food. We have a certain group controlling clothing. And then the quality of the things that you get. And let me say this, Listen, St. Martin people, I think the Economic Affairs Department and the minister have a hard task ahead of him. A very hard task. Because you see this thing that a lot of the stores and them have right now, where they're saying exchange only, no refund. Well, let me say this. Any store that I go into and I purchase something and it's faulty, it's damaged, it's torn after a couple of days, and I take it back, you better give me back my money. Because if I don't want nothing else in your store, you have no right to keep my money. So I would like to find out from the Economic Affairs Department, where did that policy come from? And this is the reason why I say St. Martin people, we are getting ripped off. We are getting ripped off blind and bold in his face. And they're shoving it down our throat. They are ripping us off. But these things can only happen if we don't stand up and say enough is enough. Enough is enough. We are the consumers. We are the ones spending our hard-earned money, our cash. And when you see the quality of the merchandise, it's questionable. There's no consumer department here where you can go and say, this is what I bought in this particular store, and look at it, look at the quality of it. And when it comes to receipts, what they do is got a normal receipt book there. They just tear it off and just write down a price and give it to you. No name of the store, nothing. And you're trying to ask yourself, but what kind of country am I living in? How can government regulate these sort of things? So, this is why I'm saying we got to keep our eye on this government. Because some point in time, changes need to come in this country that is suitable and beneficial for the people first, and then investors and businessmen in this country. Because we are the ones spending our money for the merchandise that you're bringing in here. And if it's not up to par in terms of quality, don't tell me I can't get my money back. These things are wrong. These things are definitely wrong. You see? We are about to take a very short break. And when we come back, we're going to be discussing more in depth as to how we are seeing the tentative swearing in of the new government. And I'm going to read a bit more from the article from the outgoing minister, Tia Heidegger. So we're going to take a short break, Sir Martin, and we will be right back. Yes, and welcome back. Welcome back to the program. I had a discussion a while ago with some people in the studio, and I was showing them the dialogue between me and my friend over there in Sable. And they said I should read the content of it and talk about it a bit more. But you know what? I really want to put this to rest. Like I said, I'm satisfied with my response, and I'm satisfied with how things is, because clearly you see what have been going on in St. Martin for a number of years. And when you get people who can stand up, that is what the establishment doesn't like. And as much as I don't want to, I'm going to read it so that people can clearly see, right, what happens when you challenge certain individuals, and when there's nothing else for them to stand up on in terms of their facts, in terms of proof, they start to assassinate your character, okay? And then you become the bad individual. You become the one who's no good. So let me read it. People like Christopher Emmanuel is creating division within the St. Martin community, and people has to be very careful with people like that. I realize one thing. He is on a popularity strategy, which in my book is not good for St. Martin at all at this time. What St. Martin needs right now is people that will help to build up the island in all aspects of life, not trying to bring it down with this constant hatred talk. I am a talk show host, and I used to be very radical, making some harsh statements, and I realize that it does not do me any good, much less the island. There is a time when one can become radical, and that is around election time. That is why I enjoy listening to Lloyd Richardson talk shows and Wendell Moore. They are helping to educate the community of St. Martin, and not there trying to bring the leaders of the country with all sorts of unfounded talk. St. Martin is trying to become a country, and this time I don't think all the negative talk is doing the island any good. Now you see, St. Martin, please let me know anytime in any one of my discussions, even on the Tuesday night program, the online, where I have caused division in our community or hatred. The fact is, it have been so, it have been amplified, it has been polarized that way by the two outgoing ministers. They are the ones that have created that situation here in St. Martin. But you see what happened? This is what I spoke about earlier, right? Whenever you can stand up and defend yourself, you become a target, okay? You become the person that is creating and cause the chaos that's in the country. All of a sudden, is to shift, okay, from the individuals who's really causing harm. And you now becomes the battering ram. But I'm glad that I'm the battering ram and that my shoulders are broad. And if I'm radical now, I'm going to be radical tomorrow. Because St. Martin need a wake-up call, and governments need to be right and truthful with its people. And if you think that I am radical, trust me, it has a generation behind me that is coming up. If I am radical, there's no words to explain the level that that generation is on. And they are that way because of the neglect, the lies, the false promises that have been given to them year after year from government, from politician to politician. So if I am radical, St. Martin, take a look, take good stock at a generation or a group of individuals behind me. Because they're not going to settle. They're not going to sit back. Okay? We pretend as if they don't exist. And only during election time is when the youth become the primary objective. Everyone talks about the youth. And the youth. And the youth. The man on the block. The one sitting down here. Only during election time. And that's what the person said in the thing. You can only become radical during election time. Well, I beg to differ. I beg to differ. When your country is not functioning well, when it's not going according to how things should be, you should be radical every day. If St. Martin people was radical enough, there wouldn't have been no ring road and sand in our pond. If St. Martin was radical enough, Emilia Wilson wouldn't be getting chopped up and messed up now for development. If St. Martin people was radical enough, no causeway would have been coming. If St. Martin people was radical enough, we all would have had opportunities to have solar panel and wind turbines on our property and our houses to lower our fuel. If St. Martin was radical enough, gas prices wouldn't have been going up to the extent to where it's going that people can't afford cooking gas, can't afford food. If St. Martin people was radical enough, politicians would listen to us and not feel they can do what they want. Right? And if that is hatred, I'm not changing my stance. But this is what you get when you stand up for yourself, when you stand up for your country, when you stand up for your people. This is the kind of remarks that they sent. But let me say this, St. Martin. Right? Let me say this. You stand up, St. Martin, for what you believe in. People, you become radical for the changes what you want. Okay? Because I say it all the time, from Frederick Douglass. Power conceives nothing without a demand. So St. Martin people, start to become radical. Start to become demanding. Start to become stiff. Start to become strong. And let them people know that this is your country. And you have a right to be radical for the things that you believe in and for the things that you want to change. And what we have to do is call a spade its spade. Give Jack his jacket and say it as it is. When you're a hypocrite, you're a hypocrite. When you're doing good, you're doing good. When you're a crook, you're a crook. Because at the end of the day, we, the people of St. Martin now, are the ones going to inherit all the things that they have been doing. We're going to inherit it. If you listen to the outgoing minister on the Sandbox Street, under the Sandbox Street today, he talked about he can go to the States and live. How many of us can go to the States and live? How many of us can go to the States and live? How many of us can talk to our landlord just to reduce the rent by $10? How many of us? Huh? So if you have to be radical for the changes that you want in the country, be radical. A member of parliament told me, if St. Martin people truly want these projects in terms of the causeway to stop, then St. Martin people have the power to make it stop. So you can say what all you want about Christopher. Go ahead. I am a popularity strategy, whatever. Because you're not. But say whatever you want to say. My shoulder's broad. And I'm not afraid of any one of you. I'm not afraid of you. Okay? This is my country. This is my people. And I'm going to protect my people. And I'm going to protect my country. And I can say whatever I want to say. Whether it's hatred, whether it's division, I didn't start it. I didn't create it. But I must be the one to solve it. When you're level with the people, when you be truthful with the people, then we can meet on amicable grounds. Then we can discuss solutions. But don't try to keep stamping on my toe, slapping my face, and you expect me to keep turning the cheek. No. Okay? Because when you're in, there's no healing. There's no coming together. It's what's for we on this side. Okay? The division is fine. The division is good. Now that you're out, oh, we should come together. What the country needs is healing. What the country needs is this. It is so convenient. But you know what? I'm going to leave this issue rest. I'm going to leave it rest. But let me say this. Don't feel you can say what you want to say about me, and I'm going to answer you back. We are coming down to a couple of last minutes in the program, St. Martin. Right? And hopefully on Sunday, we should have God's Spear Olivia Arenell coming in. Hopefully on Sunday. And if no schedules change or anything, we should have the young man Scoodle coming in to talk about baby needs milk. Where we're going to talk about a number of things. We're going to talk about baby needs milk. We're going to talk about certain situations in these instances what we are talking about here tonight. But I think it's something that we should go out and watch. It's a local production. All right, I can only grasp a little piece of it. But like I said, it's from us. It's by us. So we're going to have a character explaining his role, why he get into it, what it's all about. And also, you know, his take on the country. We're going to be bringing in some people. So St. Martin people, again, Christopher love each and every one of you guys. Take care of yourself, man. God bless you. Enjoy the weekend responsibly. Good night.
I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. A feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. Tonight's the night, let's live it up. I got my money, let's spin it up. Go out and smash it, like oh my God. Jump out that sofa, let's get up.
I know that we'll have a ball if we get down and go out and just lose it all. I feel stressed out, I wanna let it go. Let's go way out, spaced out and losing all control.
Fill up my cup, Mazel tov. Look at her dancing, just take it off. Let's paint the town, we'll shut it down. Let's burn the roof,
And then we'll do it again.
let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, and do it, and do it. Let's live it up and do it, and do it, and do it, do it, do it. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. Cause I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. A feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. I feel tonight's the night. Hey, let's live it up.
Let's live it up.
I got my money. Hey, let's spin it up. Let's spin it up. Go out and smash it.
Smash it.
Like oh my God. Like oh my God. Jump out that sofa. Come on. Let's get off. Fill up my cup.
Drink.
Mazel tov.
The high.
Look at her dancing.
Move it, move
Just
it.
take it off. Let's paint the town. Paint the town. We'll shut it down. Shut it down. Let's burn the roof.
And then we'll do it again.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. And do it. And do it. Let's live it up and do it. And do it. And do it. Do it. Do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Here we come. Here we go. We gotta rock. Easy come. Easy go. Now we on top. Feel the shot. Body rock. Rockin', don't stop. Round and round. Up and down.
don't know why. Every word they say in the twang, I go wild. I had a rock chick, her name was Judy. Skin tone mango, so I called her Julie. She said she ain't a 10, I said, baby, you could fool me. I'm at the climax like I'm watching a movie. Crucial girls, they find they all dimes. It's probably there I find the baddest chick of all times. I said, damn, she thick, gotta make her mine. The big 1-0, cause she sure wasn't a 9. And my ex and girls, I just love them. If it's on the low, they can keep it on the cover. Think she getting low, you should see her under covers. Plus they put it down in the kitchen like no other.
The way you look, the way you move, the way you talk, just like the freaky way you are. The island girl, the key to Uno heart. I'll never choose another island girl, let's get it on. You're my island girl. I'll never choose another island girl, let's get it on. Island girl. I'll never choose another island girl, let's get it on.
I need myself an island girl to match my island swagger. You know the wifey type, the kind that makes you mind your manners. I've been to different islands, different cultures, different flags. Started in the Cayman Islands, looking down at Trinidad. Met some Bahama mamas, some Puerto Rican chicas, some Dominican divas. I got the island fever. I got a different kind of love for Caribbean ladies. Waist got me thinking about making some Caribbean babies.
The way you look, the way you move, the way you talk, just like the freaky way you are. The island girl, the key to Uno heart. I'll never choose another island girl, let's get it on. You're my island girl. I'll never choose another island girl, let's get it on. Island girl. I'll never choose another island girl, let's get it on. Island girls, we talking to you, get it on. Be hypnotized by your move, get it on. No one I can do what you do. If I answer, it's a true. I never could I get you up my mind. Rock City JPD, I love my BVI dimes. Anguilla girls like sugar and spice. So stay by my side like red wine. I like my Sugar City kitty. My red skin girl, Dolly eyed from Fiji. My Caribbean girls, I love the way you talk. Latina Maria, oh mi muchacha bonita. Antigua, take it down low. Saint Martin, Grenada, take it down low. Only an island girl could ever walk so. I'll never